So today I have the pleasure to talk to Ike Lasater that created John Kinyon, the Mediate Your Life immersion training program. This program shows the new ways to face the conflict through nonviolent communication. This course is developed around the world, and in 2018 in Italy, there will be the 4th edition in bilingual Italian-English. Welcome, Ike.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And this program will see your presence, Ike, as a trainer in May, and it's an honor to have you in Italy.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've been to Bassano del Grappa once before and enjoyed the town and enjoyed being with you as a co-facilitator and being with the people who showed up at that workshop. It was very special for me.
Yes, and we want to share with you now, Ike, what in your opinion the participants could find in this program?
So, my thinking has evolved over the 15 years of these workshops that I've been doing. And where I am now is that we don't need to go to a workshop to learn how to communicate with people when things are going well, when things are going smoothly with another person. We don't need workshop. But the problem is that things don't go smoothly. Generally, we call it conflict, but I now just more generally call it disconnection. And when we have disconnection from a person, then we need to have some practice or skill to get back to it. And our cultures don't teach us this. Our parents don't teach us this. Our cultures are afraid of conflict because they don't know how to reconnect people after conflict. And so the way I look at it is, how can we recreate connection? Because we create everything else that we like in our lives from that connection. We create our lives one conversation at a time with other people and with ourselves. And if we're disconnected from ourselves, if we're disconnected from other people, how can we reliably get reconnected? And that's now how I think of and see these trainings. Are trainings of how to reconnect when we're disconnected. The rest of the time, we don't need to have this training. The rest of the time, we can speak in any way. As long as you trust my intention, I can use all sorts of crazy language. I was raised in South Texas, in the United States, in South Texas. We used to say the boys used to say horrible things to each other. And it was a true expression of love. It's like, oh, you look horrible, and we'd curse a lot, and we'd do all this kind of thing. And we were expressing our love for each other. But when we were disconnected, we didn't know how to get reconnected again. So that's how I think of these workshops now.
Yeah. Yes, and yes, this is something very live in me, that the fact that this disconnection is the current social challenges for us, and yes, what every one of us may do to face that as our own part.
This is a very important question for me. It's a daily question for me. It's a daily challenge in my personal practice. John Kinyon and I spent this 15 years working out these 11 conflict maps and the 9 skills to be able to use these maps. And that's what this workshop is about, 4 or 5 of these maps and the skills to be able to navigate these maps. And key to what I can do in this current situation is first, over and over again, return to my presence, return to presence and not get swept away by my judgments. I get so upset when I read the news, when I watch the video. I get swept up in my judgments in my head and my accusations. And so to return to presence over and over again, and then to be able to empathize with myself, to care and to have compassion for my reactions. And identify the needs of mine that are not met by what I'm seeing and hearing. And then out of that opening up, that softening and that opening and that arising of compassion that can come from that, is to then turn to the other person and to be able to disconnect the judgments and just look underneath what they're saying to the needs they're trying to meet. It doesn't give the colloquial term in the US, it doesn't give them a pass. It doesn't say, I don't disapprove. I still disapprove of what they're saying, but I can be connected with them in a way that at the very least, I don't then spread that ill will of mine, that first reaction of mine. If I then interact with my partner, my colleagues, my friends, out of that energy, then I create a negativity that then they respond to, and I find myself going back, and then I turn around and I go, we're just being ugly with each other and we love each other. Why are we doing this? And I track it back and I see my part is that I have not returned to my presence, have not empathized with my needs, I haven't found my needs, and I haven't been able to have any care for this other person. So I need to do my work so that I can engage and be part of creating what I want in the world. So that's my answer.
Yes, and I want to appreciate the openness and the authenticity in what you share. Is very clear for me that is a path, this training, that involve every participant and every trainer in the same journey. So we are happy. Yes, it's a work of a life. Yeah.
This is certainly not me standing up in front of the room telling other people. I'm working. I'm struggling. Yeah. I'm living this life and doing the best I can.
Yeah.
And practicing every day. And there's no perfection. There's no perfection. It's just being progressively less stupid, is what Marshall Rosenberg used to say.
Yes. So thank you for this time, and we look forward to have you in Italy. I want to say to all the people, Italian people that is watching this video, that there will be a translator that will save all the NDC power in translating your presence and your language in Italian. So we are very happy to have you here. See you soon.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye-bye.